All right, today in our how-to training, we're talking about copywriting 101, and we are diving into sales pages. Sales pages are what you're going to use to sell anything online, whether it's a product or a service, or even after you have a sales conversation with someone, if they don't purchase over the phone, you can send them the sales page, and it's going to give them all the details of what it is you're selling and why they should buy. So it's really important. Pretty much every business can use a sales page in some way. So let's dive in. There's a lot to cover today. I'm really excited preparing this all for you guys. So the first thing, I wanted you just to kind of look at one, just so we can kind of see what it is that we're building here, right? So this is a sales page that we have used when we open up Love Your Career Formula, which is our other membership site. So as you can see right from the start, we're grabbing attention with an attention-grabbing headline, right? And I tend, some other people, it has a buy now button. So that's how they can actually purchase whatever it is you're selling. Sales pages tend to be pretty long. I tend to make them, my market is women, right? So I tend to make them short and sweet and pretty. And instead of you'll see some out there, some of the online marketers, they make them pretty long with lots of text and lots of words. So you're going to want to create a longer sales page if you're selling something that's more expensive. So the stuff that we've been selling these days are like $7 or $39 a month. So it doesn't require a huge long sales page, but just know that it's harder to sell on a sales page for something that's $2,000 or $3,000. You're going to want to get on the phone with someone to sell something like that. So these are normally, sales pages are really good for something that's a lower ticket item. Something from even 500 to 1,000. Those are totally fine to sell over a sales page. And just you just have to make it longer, the more expensive you're going to make it. Because you got to tell them how to handle all those objections that they have in their mind. So this is what a sales page looks like. So there's a button to enroll. We're kind of going over some of the benefits of joining Love Your Career Formula. Imagine what it would be like. We're helping them envision what their life would be like, their visions. So this is a whole testimonial video with reels for my former clients. Offer expires soon. So we're telling them, usually we have some when we have big launches, we have a countdown timer here. So we have, this is coming to an end soon. And we have the modules overview. So I'm telling them what they're going to get if they actually purchase, and walking them through each of the sections of my program. But this whole time, it's really, really important that you focus on the benefits you provide instead of everything that they're going to get. They're going to get this worksheet and this video and 15 worksheets and all that stuff. That is less important. People are not buying because you have 15 worksheets and 15 videos. People are buying because they want the result that you are providing them. And so that's really the goal of this sales page, is to communicate how you're going to help them get that result that they really want and to answer any objections that they have. So I have testimonials on here. I have what makes Love Your Career Formula different than anything else out there. So I'm showing that we're very unique, how we're breaking the mold. Testimonials with photos of my former clients and videos. Videos do great. If there's any way you can get them on camera saying how great you are, those go a long way. So we have more testimonials here. Now, finally, I'm at this section, right? I've scrolled a lot, and now I'm telling them what they get. So it's all focused on serving them what they get, client testimonials, and then I get to this section, and this is what's really going to tell them what they get if they join, because that's important, right? They got to know what they get when they join and what they get access to on day one. I'm still talking about what makes us different. Our process is tried and tested. And the very best part here is the income or the cost information. This is what they get. You always have a guarantee. So for us, we always say cancel anytime. We don't really guarantee our membership site. But if you're selling a $500 course or something like that, you might want to have a 30-day guarantee or something like that. And FAQ. So it's really important that you kind of start thinking about what are those most frequently asked questions that people are going to have about your program. The most common ones are how long does it take? Do you offer a refund? What are some of the results I can expect? Can I get all the training at once? What type of person is right for your program? So FAQs right here are a really good opportunity for you to handle a lot of those objections that you know people are going to have. A lot of people also have the money objection. So you want to be very clear about what is the cost of not buying your product or service. Like, what is it going to cost them in the long run? Usually it's a way bigger cost than the amount of your program or your service. And if you can communicate that, that's a huge win. And then I don't even have myself till like way down here, because this program isn't really completely about me. But that's really important too, that you have your bio on there and you're, really bragging about who you are, because that's what they're buying. They're buying something you created most likely, or your product that you created. So I have that on there. And then I have, at the bottom, I have a final note, basically. Like, it's time to stop denying yourself. It's like my last little pep talk before they get that last button to actually purchase. So that's an example of what a sales page looks like. So I want to go over some things that are really important to have on your sales page. So there are 9 things that I really want to see you guys have on your sales pages. The first one is who. I want to make sure you're very clear with who your product is for, so that that person, when they see it, they're like, that's me. I can read this page because this is made for me. And then number 2, you want to know what are the benefits of your product. This whole sales page, before you even start creating your sales page, I always recommend that you just start brainstorming, like benefits, all those benefits. And by now, hopefully you've done a survey, so you know what they're looking for and you know what your clients want. So all that survey information, all those words that you learned from your survey or for interviewing your ideal clients are going to be used on the sales page. And number 3, objections. You want to know what their objections are from buying your program. Like, what will make them not buy? Because you're going to answer those objections on your sales page. Like, that's the whole point of the sales page, is to bring up all those what ifs, or all those, I can't buy this because, and you're going to answer those. So they have these objections, but they keep getting all these objections answered. And then eventually they're like, oh, well, I have no more reasons not to buy this. Buy, like, I did it. That's usually what happens to me when I purchase courses as well. So you're going to, number 4, have all those rebuttals to those above objections. And I recommend putting a lot of these in the FAQ section as well, the cost of not buying. Like, what is it going to cost them in the long run? Showing them there's really not that much cost to joining this program. Like, for us, we say it's just a little over $1 a day, right? And the cost of not doing it is like missing out on time and money and raises and promotions, and like, there's just, time is priceless, right? I always talk about that. If there's any way that they're losing time by not purchasing your product or service, that's huge. Like, there's no price on time. Like, I can't get back the time I have with my daughter, right? Like, that's precious time to me. So number 5 is details. So you want to make sure you have the details of what exactly will your customer get when they purchase your program or your product. So remember, we're going to make this short and sweet, but we do need to communicate exactly what they're going to get, so they're very clear and upfront about it. And then having some sort of guarantee. So maybe that's a 30-day money-back guarantee, a 15 money-day back guarantee. Maybe it's a cancel anytime if it's some sort of recurring transaction. And then your bio. Who are you? Why should people listen to you? You want to make sure you brag about all the amazing things that you have done in your career so far. Even if it was back in corporate and you were in a different career, there's so many things that you can bring with you now that make you reputable, even having that corporate career. So I always say in my bio, like, I have 8 years of consulting and managing a very, very large government consulting project. And so I always bring that in. I think it was like $75 million annual shipbuilding contract. Like, that's huge. So I learned a lot in my former corporate career that I'm using now. And so I think that just builds your reputation too. So don't be afraid to bring that into your bio. And then unique, what makes your program or your product different from others on the market? You just want to make sure that that's very clear. You've done that competitive analysis, so you know what makes you shine, what makes you stand out. If you don't know, just spend some time thinking about that, because that's what this is all about. You bring your own unique self into this, into whatever you're selling. So you really want to make that stand out. We're not copying other people's sales pages here. We're not doing it like anyone else. You know, you can get inspiration from other people. I always send my virtual assistant usually creates these sales pages for me, and I send her like this outline of the text that I want to say, and then I send her like, you know, 3 to 5 other sales pages that I want her to model and copy when she's creating it. So it's okay to do that, you know, but the words have to be your own, and what makes you unique is yourself, and the colors will be your own and stuff like that, and pictures, of course. And then your headline is really important. You want to have like a really eye-catching headline that's going to pop and really grab their attention right away. So spend a lot of time. I recommend like coming up with like 5 to 10 headlines, post them in our Facebook group, get feedback on them, which one, you know, shouts the most, ask other people what they think and test them out, because that's one of the most important things about your sales page. So there's a couple different tools that you can use to create a sales page. So obviously, you know, the first easiest one, if you already have a website, is just to pop a little PayPal button on your website. Super simple. Just create a new page. If you're on WordPress or whatever you're using, create a new page and then go on to PayPal and figure out how. So I found it here. I have this little article all about getting started with PayPal to create your Buy Now button. It's right here. I'm going to post that in the resources section below. So all you need to do is follow these instructions, and PayPal will show you how to create that Buy Now button. So when they click this Buy Now button right here, it will take you to an order form that will on PayPal, so that they can purchase your product. So mine right here, I use Infusionsoft, but you see PayPal, I have an option for people to purchase with PayPal, because I find a lot of people trust PayPal and want to use PayPal. We have, I would say probably half our orders come through PayPal. So totally fine to be using PayPal and to give people that option to use it or to use a credit card. So that's like the easiest thing, is just to start there. With that PayPal button, it's free. I think PayPal will take a little bit of a cut from whatever you sell, but that's fine because it's getting you started. The other option is you can use a sales page on LeadPages. So this is what I did for many, many years. This is LeadPages, which is what I use for our opt-ins and all our lead magnets, and I recommend it because I've just been using it for so long and it's all over my website. So LeadPages also has an option to create your sales page. So you can go right here and you can filter by templates and click down to sales. And then it'll give you a list of all the sales pages you can use. So here's an easy ebook sales page. Some of them have countdown timers. Let's see, the one that I use in the very beginning is right here. This blue one right here that says start selling your templates and get 100% of the revenue. That's the one I used in the very beginning to sell CRP when we just created it. So super simple to get them up very quickly using LeadPages. You'll still need some sort of e-commerce or merchant site. You can easily use PayPal. They'll give you a link, and you can just populate that link into your lead page so that instead of like adding the button, you'll just add a link. And so you'll use the LeadPages button and you'll click and it'll be directed to your PayPal order form. So just for an example, this is the one that I created on LeadPages, gosh, now 3 years ago, I think it was. So in the very beginning, I didn't want to spend a ton of time. This was actually when CRP just launched. I didn't want to waste a ton of time creating a sales page. I wanted to make a sale tomorrow or tonight, or I had someone interested in this. So I needed to sell right away. So this was just created by LeadPages. So I just plugged all this in there. Tried to, it's not the best sales page. It doesn't have all the things we just talked about covered, but it gives them the basics and the details, and that's all they really needed to know. These were people I was actually talking to on the phone, and they didn't purchase over the phone, so I needed to send them something afterwards so they could see some testimonials and see what it would be, what they would actually buy. And so here's the button, or I think there's a button up here too. Oh, just one down here. Here's the button. And so they would just click that, and then they could be directed to your PayPal order form. So super easy. The other option is to use OptimizePress. And so that's what we use right now. I love OptimizePress. I'll see if I don't know if I'm actually logged in. Let's see if I can log in so you guys can see what OptimizePress looks like. But basically what it is you're just using, oh, I'm not logged in. Okay, so I'll put a little, let's see, I'll have to cut this section out. Hey, I'm not done. Babe.
What? It's gonna change? Are you in the middle?
I'm in the middle of it. I just had to get a password because I wasn't logged in, so I have to cut this. I'm almost done.
Sorry, I thought
I know. Sorry. Okay, so let me give you a little peek behind the scenes to show you how OptimizePress would work. So OptimizePress is just a plugin on WordPress. So this page is just a WordPress page on our website, loveyourcareerformula.com. So I have OptimizePress, so it's kind of like a live editor. So it's really simple to plug and play and like move things around. So I just open it up that way. And you see that, so this is what it looks like behind the scenes. And all you have to do, so say I want to add another element, I would click Add Element. So if I wanted a button, I can find all these buttons to use. So that's super, it's just easier to kind of make it look like you want it to look. So I have all these button options. Let's see, what other options are there here? You can make it into different columns. You can use arrows. So if you want to like point to things on your sales page, bullets are really nice. Let's see, calendar, date and time. You can do a countdown timer here, a course description box. Obviously, you'll have to pay for this plugin. I can't actually remember how much it is. I can link to it below. I think it's a one-time fee, but you do have to pay when they make updates to it. If you want the latest version, then you have to pay to get the update. So that's something to think about, but it's really, really helpful. We do all of our sales pages with OptimizePress. Just makes them look really nice and really pretty. You can do headlines, you can do the guarantee box. So everything we just talked about, right? Pictures with text aside and images, everything we just talked about, this is really designed for creating sales pages. So it just makes it easier to create your sales pages. And also there's options for opt-in pages using OptimizePress as well if you didn't want to use LeadPages. So that is what I wanted to teach you guys today in our copywriting 101. But there's one final thing that we use a lot that I want to teach you about, because this is something that not many people are using, and I think it could be very beneficial to your business. So not all sales letters need to be really long, right? There's something else I want you guys to try, and it's called a video sales letter. And so what this is on the video, you're going to talk through what you would actually say on the sales page. So let me see, I think here's one of our, we have many of these out there right now, but here's one of our video sales letters. So basically at the top, it's kind of a presentation because I am giving a presentation. So we always say free presentation. You're about to discover exactly how to create a resume and cover letter that gets you into an interview for your dream job fast. So that's that headline, right? That's grabbing their attention. If you were struggling with your job, you'd probably watch this, right? Because this is like a common frustration that my market has when they're job searching of wanting to find their dream job and figuring out how to create a resume. So then at the bottom, and if you have this really figured out, you make this button pop up later. Once you start making the sale in the video, then the button pops up below, but you don't need to have that all figured out. And we used, I think we used OptimizePress for this sales page, but you can easily use LeadPages to create a simple video sales letter just like this. So I won't make you listen to all that, but this is what it looks like. Then, so basically you're communicating your entire sales page in a video. So you're talking through it. And obviously my voice sounds a lot better than reading a whole page. And I'm putting the words on the screen. So they can actually, I'm actually reading them and they can watch it as well. So I feel like they're getting it a lot better, right? Some of you guys may have seen this when you joined, maybe you bought a business plan. We do a lot of our business plan sales pages this way as well. And we test it and see what works better. So that's what I would recommend for you. Different markets are different. So test it and see what works better. I will also save these PowerPoint slides. These are the PowerPoint slides that I talk through on the video sales letter. So I will save this below so you can kind of see the words I'm saying. Basically, I'm talking in the video sales letter, I'm talking about their objections. So here's why you aren't getting calls back from your resume and giving them some good content about why they're not getting calls back and some of the mistakes that they may be making. And then the biggie, like here's why you really aren't getting the calls back. And I'm relating to them and I'm telling them like, here's what you should be doing instead. So it is kind of like a training. I'm giving you what you should be doing instead. And then eventually, that's why I want to introduce you to the Love Your Career Formula Resume Makeover Bootcamp. And then I'm telling the story here, right, about how the Resume Makeover Bootcamp can really help them and what they can get out of it. Okay, so that gives you an idea of what that video sales letter is all about. And let's just see here. Stop share. Okay, so that was Sales Letter Training 101. We would love to see your sales pages. So post them on the Facebook group. We'd love to review them, give you feedback. That's a huge win when you create your first sales letter. So we want to know about it. Use what's in here and you will be set and ready to go.